Hello there, my name is Rachel. The first time you see my channel, I sort of review cartoon series, anime series, also computer random. Today we'll talk about Pantheon Season 1. Now before I get started, I must warn you, it's one of those type of series that you better off not knowing what's going on before you watch the review. It's basically watch the show. The show is good. It will not let you down. Of course, you're the type of person who doesn't want to see the show because only has season 1. You don't want to wait to not know do have a season 2. Yes, they green light season 2. So it's totally worth watching, even waiting for season 2, because this thing is just so well done. In fact, the Rotten Tomatoes have, for critics, 80%, and the just normal fans get 100%. That's kind of high quality praise for Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, it's one of those shows that you must see TV. In fact, it's kind of hard to binge all this series because it's a type of series kind of make you think, because once again, it's science fiction. Now, the story of Pantheon is very simple. It's basically how you going inside the Matrix, but before the Matrix was created. Sounds very interesting, and it is. But you follow two main leads. We follow the first lead is Maddie, that she's sort of sad her dad passed away. Till someone texts her. Someone seems familiar to be her father, and she doesn't understand what this means, and she goes in the rabbit hole to find out they sort of uploaded their father in the machine so they can make him make it work faster than the machine, because the man is so talented what he does. And that is sort of twisted and disturbed, because after that man find out, she couldn't contact other people to help her to take her father out of the company. So quietly get in and get out kind of scenario. But Maddie is with that type of teenager, not realize the situation her father is. Like understanding he's dead. The thing you grabbing in the store, in the company, is basically a part of him, but at the same time it's not him. And that's the concept. Like, that's sort of interesting to make this understand. Technically is her father, but sometimes it's not. And I love it how slowly and steadily she's sort of realizing that maybe she didn't really think about it, because Maddie's mom didn't know he existed. She had him destroyed because what he's doing to him is sort of wrong and messed up, sort of like a Frankenstein monster. But I love it that Maddie didn't understand that. Slowly and steady, she actually realized, especially all the moments that sort of kind of creepy, because she's trying to eat dinner with her dad and with her mom and trying to parent trap them to talk it out, because her mom doesn't believe, or at least doesn't want to know this thing exists, because her husband is dead. And you can see that pain, the torture, and I love that because it really makes you think, this is okay or not, or Maddie's dead. Maddie's dad is dead or alive, and what is Maddie's dad? Like, what he specifically? You love it fall into a rabbit hole, like describe him as a god, because he sort of started learning what to do, because he doesn't have a body, just his subconscious. What if he can do with subconscious? It's a limit of imagination. Yeah, I love that they use that with animation. If it was sort of real, they use still real life actors, the whole idea could be falling apart, because the concept is sort of hard to give you make sense to understand, because a lot of things they do, it is possible but stretched. But I think one of the big example, they basically they trying to hack a laptop. They use sort of a phone to vibrate next to a laptop and sort of hack it. That could be possible. You can control a phone to vibrate to get closer to the laptop to hack it. But it's not possible you could vibrate the phone or use the radio signals of the phone and type it. That's sort of over exaggeration and almost impossible. But once again, it's basically sci-fi. You just sort of go with it. In fact, it's almost described sort of like Death Note, the famous chip eating, over exaggerating. Yeah, think about that. You have those moments, at least in this series. But once again, they take everything serious and make everything sense. Especially Maddie's dad understand what is the concept of him. You love it, they breaking down, you do anything you can with nobody. You love it, man's dad doesn't understand and they explain it bit by bit. Like, to understand yourself, you need examples. And I love that you use him as the example. Like, you could move through walls or use a laptop, but not using a laptop. You can shape, you can do whatever you want. But the only reason you can't really think about it is because you're kind of used to of the basic things like a chair or a glass or water. You know how it feels. You understand the texture. But remove that in doing your own, but not using those objects for your sort of imagination. It's sort of hard to do, and that is so interesting because they do kind of creative things to explain the possibilities of the Matrix, and that is just so interesting. Especially, I love it. They do question what the government around the world would do with this sort of technology, what sort of questionable things they would do, and they show it. People would use it for power. People just want to live forever. Especially, you link up to the second main lead, Casper. And Casper is one of those characters, when you first meet him, he seems sort of a normal, boring, uninteresting type of person. But the more you keep watching about episode 1 and episode 2, you are now completely fascinated about this guy because everything he does is monitored. Everything he does with his family are just doing a play just for him, but not realizing, because this is the twist. He kind of is a clone built for one simple thing, to fix the AI. And that is so disturbing, interesting, and cliche because I have seen this as sci-fi before, but I never seen this push, that more discovery, how messed up that really is, and how far the people were trying to push him to do sort of things, and kind of make you question why are they doing this, what is the purpose. And you find out it's all about this company creating this AI upload yourself to the Matrix because he kind of have sort of a god complex effect. The person who made the company, he's basically Steve Jobs. Even his name, even his features of a human being, sort of copy and paste of this sort of villain because he passed away like Steve Jobs as cancer. You could really believe he was sort of inspired by Steve Jobs very heavily. But once more, it sort of asks that question: what you know is not true. What I'm supposed to do? What is my mission? And that is interesting because Casper is lost, confused, but you just feel for the guy because he's just trying to understand why him. But you can easily make himself annoying, sort of pathetic, sort of tiring, but it never does because he's sort of disconnected. In a way, he's trying to figure it out because he doesn't want to be the Steve Jobs of this universe. He knows he's a clone of him, especially the reason why he made him, because it's his own company. But I love it how they describe the company as sort of a cult. If you know Apple, aka Steve Jobs' own company, it's kind of is a cult in a way. And I love that sort of mentality. He's trying to figure out how to fix this and give it sort of morality because you find out later on there's a glitch to this AI uploaded. There is a problem that you last too long becoming this AI, you die. And that's one of the biggest glitches of this program, and they expect Casper to fix it. But the only problem is other companies want this, they don't want to deal with this also, but nobody knows to what happens to the very end. Someone leaked everything out of this. Now everybody has this technology, everybody trying to one up it. It's almost sort of in their world, but once again leading into Casper, what is his sort of responsibility? Should he continue this, his legacy that he did not want it? He was created this purpose. Yeah, I love about that. It's sort of interesting. What you do, his position that you are basically a lie. You just meant to do what the last person did do. I mean, that's what's so fascinating because you don't know. You want to see what happens next. Especially this series does have sort of, you say, Black Mirror version of other people, like Manny's dad. You have another person who also AI, what actually happened to her, and goes sort of reverse thing what happened to Manny's dad, that she become crazy, she becomes obsessive with her husband, she losing control. That's Manny's dad's future, and I love they actually explore that, how creepy and disturbing that really is, pointing out this is not living for becoming this sort of AI, because you have no purpose, no understanding what you could do next. But I find it fascinating is Manny the one who dragged his dad becoming this sort of AI, because she's not willing to let go. Especially her mother, you keep telling her this is a bad idea, but I love it they never made her sort of the bad person. She made very questionable things, but every time they do, they sort of flip the script, and they do this constantly in the series, because it does give you an edge of your seat, wondering what's gonna happen next. You are stuck watching each single episode because it's that good, especially when it happened at the end that everything is sort of revealed. But I love it. They make it sort of what will happen in a real world, what how people will react to this technology and understand the consequences, and they do go into it. I think this is the reason why I did enjoy so much. Of course, I kind of wish they have a little bit of humor here and there, but at the same time, you add too much humor, you ruining the drama. So yeah, once again, I felt they did it just right. That sort of interesting point of view of this is right or wrong. I highly recommend you have not seen it. Now I got nothing else to say, just thank you for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and have a wonderful day. Bye.